Interestingly, it was the anti-federalists of post-revolutionary America who were in favor of paper currency. The anti-federalists were landowners who favored paper in order to pay off their own. Remember, midterm essays are due on the 29th.
Since you did say any topics, I thought I might do my 1,500 words on President Kennedy's speech tomorrow. It's being carried on live radio, and I thought I might do an analysis on it.
Yes, Mr. Rosen, that would be fine. You go right ahead.
오늘의 주인공은 하버드에서 역사를 가르치는 피츠제럴드 교수입니다. 1년 후에 연도가 찍힌 동전이네요. 그런데 이상한 낌새를 채고 긴장하는데 사람이 나타납니다.
I wasn't expecting you for another month.
Just a friendly visit. After all, it's been almost 2 whole hours since my last visit.
Strange. You spend months, sometimes years at a time, back here in the past, separated from your family. But when you get back to them, it's only a few hours.
Second life that you've created for yourself. You've made friends, probably fell in love.
How can you get close to people when you can't really tell them what you think? Favorite flavor of ice cream, for God's sake, won't be invented for the next 150 years. Sometimes I feel like an eternal observer, detached, always remote. I spent 3 years studying John Kennedy and his time, but I never really got to know him.
You don't have to go to Dallas tomorrow.
Kate, this is my project. I got the funding. I'm the one who spent the last 3 years here. I'll see this through to the end. It's just that now I've got to go watch him.
Ken, what's that?
It's family keepsake. It's a good luck charm.
Dated 1 year after your destination. Against policy.
But not strictly enforced. Have my own particular form of ancestor worship.
Have a safe trip to Dallas.
대화를 마친 아줌마는
Sai-Jen, Lao
요상한 시계를 작동시켜 미래로 사라집니다.
I'll ask you about that in 200 years.
그러니까 교수는 미래에서 온 시간 여행자.
Computer scanning.
Systems check. Holographic recorder operational.
Operational.
Emergency homing device.
Operational. Should ring become separated from temporal wrist controls, wearer of ring will be automatically returned to point of departure.
시계랑 얘기를 마친 교수는 시간 이동으로 내일의 달라스로 갑니다. 케네디 대통령이 카 퍼레이드를 하는 현장. 미래의 카메라로 촬영을 하는데요. 역사에 개입해서 대통령을 구해냈네요.
All right. Thanks, Ted.
Looks like Mr. Rosen will get to do his essay after all.
Pardon me?
Check out as an upstanding citizen.
You didn't tell me, new Secretary of Defense McNamara. He's a big fan of yours. Admired some article you wrote, applying mathematical games theory to historical analysis. You were in Dallas to hear the president's speech, I take it.
Yes, and record him for my class at Harvard.
This baby must have some telephoto lens on it for you to have seen a gunman from that distance, It's damn lucky you did.
Exactly where are we going?
You met the president before, Professor?
Only in passing.
We're scheduled to rendezvous with him at Love Field in about 20 minutes.
Governor, thank you very much. See you again.
I believe you've met Dr. Joseph Fitzgerald. This is the man who saved your life this morning.
No, you're in your debt.
The honor's mine, Mr. President.
All right, come along, Professor. Even I can't keep the Air Force waiting all day.
To Washington?
We'd be honored to have you as a guest for dinner tonight at the White House.
I'd love to. Mr. President, thank you. What are you thinking about?
Strange feeling. In the war, it was different.
Maybe whoever shot at you wasn't shooting at you, but the office you represent.
Nobody ever shot at Eisenhower. To Berlin, in the missile crisis, no one man should have that much power. No one man should have to have it.
You are way ahead of your time. It will take It will probably take another century before people see it that way.
Excuse me, Mr. President. Dallas police called. They've captured a man named Lee Oswald.
그 미래의 동전을 떨어뜨렸는데요.
I placed our strategic forces on yellow alert. I want you to set up an emergency cabinet meeting for tonight at 7.
Is it anything you can tell me about?
Russian troops just captured West Berlin. Soviet premier is demanding that we pull our forces out of the rest of Germany.
Khrushchev would never do that.
Premier Khrushchev was assassinated today.
미국 대통령을 살린 대신 소련의 통치자가 죽었네요. 역사가 바뀌었습니다.
Oh, Joe, we're going to have to give you a rain check on that dinner.
Oh, yes, Mr. President, I understand.
There'll be a full staff meeting in an hour.
Where's my camera?
Yes.
Not in the car? Don't worry, Mr. Fitzgerald. We'll have it delivered to you before you leave.
Fine, Mr. Livingston. Thank you very much.
Initial effect of intervention in Kennedy assassination. Time distortion caused by interference in history.
Compute to the extent of damage in the time stream.
Massive tears in the fabric of time. Temporary stabilization achieved by Khrushchev assassination. Continued temporal distortion, increasing geometrically the longer this timeline remains in existence.
Give me the worst and the best case outcomes in this timeline.
Worst case scenario, nuclear exchange between the superpowers results in total annihilation of biosphere. Probability 77%. Best case scenario, surrender of Western Europe within 6 years. Military costs collapse Soviet economy. Soviets blackmail West for food, culminating in agro-bacterial war. Result, total annihilation of biosphere within century. Probability 12%.
Avoiding total war in this timeline?
0%.
Give me all options for repairing the original timeline.
There exists only one viable option. The Kennedy presidency must end as history originally recorded.
What have I done?
같은 시각.
B-52 is en route to Berlin is under attack by Soviet MiGs. The pilot is requesting permission to return fire.
You tell the pilot to defend himself.
국제 정세는 전쟁을 향해 치닫고 보안 요원은 미래의 동전으로 교수를 의심하기 시작합니다.
Practical joke of some sort, or a prototype of a campaign handout.
I mean, they'd have to know that it was a felony.
I can't find anybody that knows him or knew him before he started teaching at Harvard. He's Johnny on the spot to save the president's life. He loses a coin that shouldn't exist. You ask me, this Dr. Fitzgerald could very easily be a Soviet sleeper.
Ray, I find that hard to believe. What Russian agent carries around a patently phony and illegal coin and then loses it aboard Air Force One, for God's sake?
Then there's the camera.
What about it?
Not only can't they take it apart, they can't even open it up. It's made of some sort of weird alloy they've never even seen before, pervious to X-rays.
Get Fitzgerald in here now. Damn it, Joe, I don't have time for mysteries.
Been in my family for over 200 years.
자신의 존재를 증명하기 위해 카메라를 보여주는데요.
Easy, Professor.
This is not a weapon, I assure you. I'm a historian, Mr. President. Sent here from over 200 years in your future to record and observe the events of your era.
Oh, God help me, I think I believe him.
Prohibit an agent from drinking while on duty.
Why did you choose this moment to make contact with me just now? 1964.
그러니까 이 동전은 케네디 대통령 사망 후에 제조된 거였네요.
Assassination, didn't you? God in heaven. Soviet invasion? None of this was supposed to happen, was it? Crisis would be the end of the world, wouldn't it? Is there any way to undo the damage? I have to go back.
In my future, we have seen the realization of your greatest dreams. We have eliminated tyranny, war, poverty, and we've moved out among the stars, due in large part to that first step you made back in 1961.
Thank you for telling me that, Joe. Hey, what do you want me to do?
Put this.
시간이동 시계를 주려던 교수는 미래 귀한 반지를 건넵니다.
Mr. President, let me.
It's my boat.
그렇게 대통령은 미래로 가는데요.
Warning, warning, homing device activated.
You and I still have work to do. We're going back. But before that, I need to make a few changes.
시계를 이용해 보안 요원과 교수가 대통령 암살 당시로 돌아갑니다. 그렇게 대신 죽음을 맞는 피츠제럴드 교수.
Something wrong, Doctor?
Nothing wrong at all. Dr. Fitzgerald wasn't the only one with a second life in the past.
What about me? Couldn't my memories change the future somehow?
No one can change history. Even the act of traveling in time is a part of history. Dr. Fitzgerald's actions were simply a part of what was. So your memories won't change the future. All I could say was something in Chinese, a phrase my husband, Sai Jen, Lao Punyo. Goodbye, old friend.
그리고 미래로 간 케네디 대통령은
Records many facts. Some of them right, some of them wrong. But let the record show that in any age there are men of high ideals, men of courage, men who do more than that for which they are called upon. You will not always know their names, but let their deeds stand as monuments, so that when the human race is called to judgment, we may say, this too was humanity.
영상 제작에 큰 힘이 되는 구독, 좋아요, 댓글 부탁드릴게요.